Hi everyone, we're just going to jump right into this video. Thank you for joining me and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So I'm taking a Dollar Tree frame. It is in rose gold or kind of a copper color here on the screen. And I'm going to take some paper I purchased at the craft store. They have a whole section usually devoted to this type of paper. It comes in a square and there are a variety of patterns and colors that you can use. So I wanted to do some spring DIYs. This one happens to be going to my sister, and I really like the polka dot. It kind of ties into the decals I found from Dollar Tree. So I am starting by cutting them to size of the frame. And I was a little over. I like to be careful with this just in case I need to trim it. So that's perfectly acceptable. Go ahead and just trim it later when you need to. And I'm just going to be placing this in the frame after I put the decals on. I decided to go with the Be Happy decal. I thought that was really cute and that my sister could use it in her office or somewhere on display in her home, perhaps even on the table I DIY'd for her a while ago last summer. So I'm going to cut these out in a pattern I think would look good. They do have the little, I guess they're little dots to symbolize the bees flying around, but they were kind of irrelevant to me putting them on here, especially since they tied into the polka dots. So I'm going to figure out where I want to put the happy, and then I'm going to go back and place down the bee and a flower as well. And this just turned out so pretty. I've had this idea for over a year now, and I've had these items for over a year now, and I finally decided to just go ahead and get this together so that my sister can enjoy it. And you can lift these up off the paper. They're not so sticky that you can't do a couple of adjustments. So I'm going to go ahead and get this back in the frame and show you all the final review. So here I'm starting with some upcycled honey jars. These came in like a pack of 5 from Trader Joe's. Last year I actually got a set for a friend because he mentioned some tea and honey combinations he really liked. And so this came with a variety of honeys. I've since used them, and I wanted to save these jars because they're so stinking cute. And they have cork lids, which I also really like. So I'm taking some Dollar Tree matches and putting them inside. I fit a decent amount in here. Of course, this is a large box, so I have several left, but this is a perfect DIY. If you are enjoying my content, make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. The next DIY, I'm taking some Dollar Tree toothpicks, and I am just going to decant them into another honey jar. I was able to fit both of these containers into this honey jar, so that was nice. I don't have to hold on to one or go hunting for one later. And these have ended up at my mother's house, so I'm going to decant some more into another honey jar for myself. I really love this project the most. I just think these honey jars are so cute. So cute, and they're perfect for holding small things like toothpicks and matches. So I was cleaning out my basement, and surprise, surprise, I found some thrifted glassware that I've just had and some candles that I needed to clean out. So I am going to be gluing these together. These bowls that I'm putting on the top are actually from a baby shower I planned, I want to say almost 4 years ago now. We did a rubber ducky theme, and they were perfect to hold rubber duckies from the Dollar Tree and blue rocks and a little bit of water. Moving on. I am using them again, and I'll probably be giving these to a friend who likes glam decor, and I am just taking some E6000 and gluing some old candle jars onto the vessels that I use from the baby shower. This is a very easy product. I love upcycling glass instead of just throwing it out or recycling it, to the actual recycle center. This is an easy way to create some accessories and some vessels for your home. And you can spray paint these any color you want. Right now I am taking off the books. I just use those to weigh them down. I let them dry for 24 hours. And I am going to take some caulk from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to run it around the joint where the two pieces of glass meet. And that's going to give it more of a seamless look. When working with caulk, make sure you always keep a damp rag, paper towel, or even baby wipes around to help clean up your line, even if you're using caulk for its actual purpose in your home. So I let the caulk dry for several hours. You can even give it 24 hours if you'd like, just to make sure there's a good seal between the two pieces. And then I took them outside to be spray painted. I am going to be using a matte white spray paint on these. It worked out pretty well. One of these vessels gave me a little bit of trouble because it got so cold. And I did spray paint the other ones in my basement, and it's too cold for the paint to actually settle down, and it started to crack a little bit. So I'll probably have to go over and fix that. But this is the matte white spray paint that I use. As you see, there are some hearts there from the Dollar Tree as well, and I will show you a DIY on those a little later. So the white turned out pretty good on this one. I'm going to be taking some hot glue, and I'm going to be running it up and down the top part of this vessel I made. This was a lot of fun and very fast and easy, and as you can see, my paint job wasn't that great on this one either. But we're going to be covering that up. So I decided to do the bottom of this vessel. This is the one that gave me a little trouble later on with the spray paint not drying properly, but I'm going to go across the bottom of this particular piece. And I added the hot glue to both sides of the bottom of this vessel. And now for the fun part, I'm going to be taking some adhesive and I'm going to be adding on my gold leaf. And I just want to focus on the hot glue portions, even though it kind of goes all over the place, of course. But it turned out really well. So I'm just adding on my I'm just adding on my adhesive for my faux gold leaf. And again, like I said, I'm focusing on the hot glue sections and a little bit of the areas in between. And I did this on the top of this vessel and the bottom of the other vessel. Now it's time to lay on my gold leaf, and this was a nice easy process. I did end up going over it a couple of times with different gold leaf after brushing it off and seeing some spaces in between. So don't be afraid, if there's some open spaces, you can go back over it and it'll be fully covered like this. And then I took it outside. Again, the hearts are in the background, you'll see what I did there, and I am just brushing it off in 9-degree weather with no gloves. This was painstaking after a while, but I finished it up. And now for the final reveal. I just want to point out that I added some wax to these Z Gallery dupes or high-end dupes that I did a while ago. I don't think they were Z Gallery, but they turned out pretty good. And then they go well with this Z Gallery dupe that I did a while ago as well. And I actually ended up spray painting the bottom of the one vessel just because I had issues with the paint previously. So I'm taking my matte spray paint again. Ignore me spraying the vessel, but I do spray the jar from Dollar Tree in the back. It is a great size and it has a really modern appeal. So I just gave it a couple coats of the matte white spray paint, and that was it. I added some pampas grass I got off of Facebook Market, and it goes perfect on my black beige chest. Now here are the hearts. So as you saw, I spray painted them white. You can use chalk paint or acrylic paint as well to cover them. I just was trying to do this quickly as I usually do. So I'm going to be taking that adhesive again from the gold leaf and adding on gold leaf here. And I chose to do this in different patterns. Not all the hearts are covered completely. I just did half of a heart, either vertically or horizontally. And sometimes I just kind of spread it all over. Or just put it in one place, just to have a variety. I ended up painting one black as well for a separate DIY, and I put the gold leaf relatively all over this one. I went through and brushed off the gold leaf as well, again in 9-degree weather. So I survived, I promise. I went in as quickly as possible because it's way too cold out here. And we still have snow on the ground. I don't know about you all. I can't say I'll be braving the cold again. I'm going to try to do as many projects as I can indoors, but I'm not going to get too many furniture projects done without going outside, especially if I want to sand them down, because I don't want to do that indoors. So we'll see what happens in the future with this weather. Hopefully it warms up soon. I sealed everything with a coat of high gloss acrylic, and I did this on the vessels as well. Sorry for not mentioning that earlier. So I'm going to take the black heart and this Dollar Tree canvas that has its own stand. As you see, it's really cute. You could paint that black. I did not, but I might in the future. And I'm just going to take some hot glue and place this on there. Now for the final reveal. I placed the white ones in a vessel that I have. You've seen me use it for Christmas. I put some trees in there from Five Below. I also use it in the fall with some pumpkins from the Five Below as well. I really just love trading in the seasons with different decor with this glass vessel. So I recommend using any glass vase that you happen to have and any stand that it can go on. So here I'm taking one of those hexagon mirrors from Dollar Tree. Yes, you can see my camera. I'm going to unwrap it and take the mirror out. Now I had a variety of DIYs I wanted to do with these, but that requires me to collect some more. So I'll be on the hunt and I'll definitely be showing you guys those DIYs. But for now, I'm just going to turn this into a trivet or a tray. And I will forewarn you, yes, the surround of this frame is plastic, so I'm not going to use it as a true trivet where it can hold something hot. That would melt the plastic. So I recommend that you use this potentially to hold cold salads or even just to hold a candle, as I will show you later in the video. So I'm going to remove the mirror, just be gentle. I think the edges are kind of sharp, but they're also slightly beveled, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't cut myself or anything. Just take your time in pulling that out. And now I'm going to take a tile I purchased at my local hardware store. I do try to show you guys the barcode here if you want to hunt it down. And I'm going to show you a couple tile options. This tile is slightly smaller than the frame, but I'm going to make it work. You can do a little bit bigger, but I wouldn't go too big. So I tested out the sizing, and like I said, I realized the frame was just a little bit too big. So I am going to take the back of this frame, as it's already black. I don't have to do any painting, but of course paint it whatever color makes you happy. You could even add a vinyl wallpaper on top if you want a pattern behind your tile. And I am going to take the black side. I'm going to pull off the hanger clips where it can hang on a wall. Just pull them gently. They'll leave a little hole, but your tile will cover that, so it's not so bad. And then I'm going to take some caulk from Dollar Tree to help the tile adhere to this piece. Now the tile, of course, is heavier than the backing on this, so if you wanted to hang it, I would recommend reinforcing it with a piece of cardboard or another piece of poster board or something, you know, thick that can help weigh out the heaviness of the tile. I'm just going to place it on there. There's a little bit of bleed out on the top part there. So again, like I always say with caulk, you want to keep a wet paper towel or a baby wipe around and just wipe it off. And I want you to know this tile was really affordable. It only cost $1.99. I'm inserting another tile option here. I initially thought it was going to be too big, but it actually might fit. And then I just place the frame back around. Now I'm going for a modern aesthetic, so I'm keeping it black. It's a perfect black for me, but you can definitely spray paint this in a metallic gold. That would be beautiful. I've seen that done before, and the mirror was kept and placed on the wall and maybe even stacked to make a nice wall treatment. So there's a lot of options with these mirrors. So I'm showing you a tile I purchased from Floor & Decor, and I just added little feet to it. This came in a multi-pack from Target. My mom did the same thing. We really wanted some nice trivets, and it's just a simple piece of tile. So that is an option for you. But I also like having the other tile in the Dollar Tree frame. This is the final reveal. I placed it on my sink in the bathroom that is not finished. and I put a candle on it. My last DIY is an oldie but a goodie. I am taking some upcycled candle jars from the store you already know, and I am going to add some knobs to them and some candle holders from Dollar Tree and from the thrift store. Now the ones I showed you just now I've had for years, if not 10 years. I've had them for 9. I spray painted the tops matte black and I added some knobs. I purchased a 10-pack off of Amazon at the time, and it cost me about $6 I think for the pack of 10. It was a really good deal at the time. Of course they cost more now, but I will try and link the knobs down below. So I'm taking some candle jars I already had. These bigger ones I thrifted a long time ago and I just needed something to do with them, so I asked a friend if she wanted some under cabinet storage for her bathroom or even to put on her countertop, and she said yes. So you're going to do the same thing I did earlier with the vessels. We're going to take our E6000, we're going to place it around the rim of the candles, the candlestick holders first, and then we're going to place it on top of our upcycled candle jars from the big store. That's what I'm going to call it, the big store. Now I'm going to take some knobs I already have. These came off of my cabinet in the bathroom actually, and they're nice and simple and they go really well with the lids on these candle jars. So I'm just going to take some E6000 and glue them down. I also take one of the older knobs I used on my candle jars in the bathroom. I happen to have a couple left, and I'm going to glue that on the third candle jar. Spray them whatever color makes you happy. My friend wanted black, so I went with a high gloss black just because I happen to have it, and they turned out really well. Here's the final reveal. These turned out so cute. I'm currently using them to hold some candy for Valentine's Day, but you can use them in your bathroom and put some cotton balls and cotton rounds in there too. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.